New year, new me, who are you, boy? If you're in my way, you better move, boy. I don't ever miss a cue like schoolboy. Ain't no telling what I'ma do, boy. Ha, 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 ha. I bet you thought you had me figured out, but nah, 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 nah. I'm way too unpredictable.
Hello, welcome to the Tech Disruptors podcast. My name is Darren, and this lovely gentleman on my left is
the greatest of all time. No, Jason.
The greatest of all time, Jason. Yes, and we are running this baby as a duo tonight, and coming to you a little earlier this week. We've kind of been playing with the days a little bit here and there, but as you know, sometimes life gets in the way. What are you gonna do about it?
And if you have an opinion on the day, leave us
let us
in the
know.
chat. Leave a comment.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll move it around. We're trying to see what's the best for everybody.
Look, it doesn't matter what day it is because the tech news doesn't stop. It just keeps on coming and coming and coming. So I know it's been a while since we've talked about AI. No, I'm just kidding. We do have a few things we want to talk about on the show. Obviously, big iPhone release and just kind of first impressions. People have now got them in their hands. Some interesting reviews coming through about the iPhone. Also, if you updated your phone to iOS 18. Few little issues people are having there, but that's okay. We'll come back to that. But let me ask you this, Jason. I'll start with this. How far can you get your Wi-Fi in your house? Like if you had to measure it in feet, how far would you say?
I'd say a max, because I have a router in my garage. So I would say, because I have a mesh network, I would say probably max 15, 20 feet outside the garage. You know, you have brick and metal and all that stuff in there, kind of. But I think I know where you're going with this. But yes.
Yeah. So most Wi-Fi networks, let's say on a good day, I'd say probably 15 to 20 feet. It's probably good signal. But what if I told you you could get 9.9 miles of Wi-Fi?
I think there'd be a lot of people trying to steal your password.
Well, so article that came out this week, we've actually set a brand new world record. So a company called Morse Micro has been testing this, what they call a Halo Wi-Fi service. So basically back in January, they achieved the world record of Wi-Fi range using their, I guess, transmitter, whatever they call it, by conducting a video call over a distance of 1.8 miles through high interference in San Francisco.
You say with high interference?
Yeah, with high interference.
So what does that mean? Like buildings, trees?
I'm assuming buildings, people, trees, things in the way.
Well, it's like ultra wideband. We know if you're not in direct view of ultra wideband, like in New York, it's just not very good. Okay.
So they decided they wanted to level up, right? 1.8 miles is fucking really good.
Why would you level up from that? How much more do you need?
Well, that's exactly. Well, I mean, I guess to see how far it can actually go.
True.
So they've set a brand new Guinness Book World Records of 9.9 miles across the rural Joshua Tree National Park.
Okay, so it's not unobstructed. It is probably unobstructed. It's probably, looking at that picture, it looks like it's pretty empty. But
there's mountains.
Feet. That's still a huge feat, though. Holy cow.
So that's 15.9 kilometers for all you metric people.
What's metric?
I don't know. Kilometers, mile. Yeah, I know. In Canada, fun story. We use both. Go to the grocery store and you buy stuff in pounds, but if you weigh yourself at the doctor's office, it's kilos.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
I know, it's bizarre. Anyway, so impressive speeds. Now, stick with me on this. Remember, this is 9.9 miles. They were getting 11 megabits per second.
Damn.
That's pretty good.
Well, that's enough to do a video call, for sure.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, a video call. I mean, you could do
browsing. You could do email.
Yeah.
Maybe not streaming, like, games, but...
Maybe 480p YouTube.
Hey, I mean... Still trying to figure out a use case for that, but
I know.
Cool. Like, if you live in the country on a farm and you have acres and acres of land, this would be fantastic because there are going to be any obstructions. You're going to have field. If you have barns, you don't have to run a bunch of cables and mesh networks and access points. You could just do this.
So, I mean, looking at the picture, I mean, it doesn't really give much away. I think there's a little video here. I'm going to pull it up on my separate tab here. One second.
Looks like it's been blocked.
No, I got it right here. So this is the company Morse Micro. This was their video they released. And no, it's not Mac and me. Don't worry.
I was just going to say.
I know, you already. Hang on.
We haven't done that in a while. So it's.
I know, it's coming. It's coming at some point. So this is their little video here. I'll just kind of...
We'll be copyrighted, I'm sure.
We're here at Joshua Tree National Park in California to test the range of our Morse Micro Wi-Fi.
So they're an American
LTE.
company?
I
It's quite
believe
nice.
so.
Perfect place
I
to
have to
test the
check
limits of our
them.
maximum range.
I'm gonna
at
skip
its
ahead here.
maximum time of flight of 53 microseconds. So this gives us a theoretical maximum range of 15.9 kilometers. The next step is working out how strong the signal is at this maximum range. The further a signal goes, the weaker it becomes. This is known as the free space path loss.
Okay, yeah, come on.
Our second device is set up as a station. As we move,
It's
further
tiny.
away and the signal weakens.
It is.
the rate
Like a
control
little, I thought it was
device
gonna be a
So
sends
is it
fucking
like a
monster.
mesh? Is it like a mesh? So they have to have a base.
I think 2 points,
What we
yeah.
want to know
That's
is
the...
throughput at the maximum range. Using our MCS rate table, based on the signal
Oh my
strength
God,
of
they're way
minus
too
94 dB.
Yeah, I know. I'm just going to skip ahead. But generally speaking, I mean, looking at this video here, like, it looks pretty damn small. Like,
Well,
I thought...
I don't think, like, most people live in cities aren't going to want to use this. There's already enough congestion with Wi-Fi signals.
Yes.
And Bluetooth. But I think what this proves is that mesh networks can get a hell of a lot better.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah, and I mean...
they're smart. They're not going to sell a product. They're going to patent this technology out to many people.
Yeah. But I mean, imagine the applications for this. I mean, there are obviously parts in the world where what we call like the black zones, where you just simply can't get it, right?
Yep.
Imagine, I mean, having that kind of range. If you imagine 9.9 miles in one direction and you turn that into a radius, I mean, think about how much land you're covering with some kind of signal.
Emergency services. If you're middle out in
Yeah.
the desert, I mean, this is what we talk about satellite communication. But if we had things like this, we wouldn't have to rely on satellite.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I don't know what, like, I know we know about Starlink, which is,
Yeah, Tesla.
our overlord. There's, his
Overlord
idea
Musk.
by Overlord Musk. Yeah, but I mean, here in North America, the Starlink is pretty expensive. Like, it's still not great. Like, it's the setup fees and stuff are about $300 to $400. I think monthly service. I don't know how much it is. I think it's about
It's
$100
expensive, but I think it's more for people who live in areas where fast
Yeah.
broadband internet is just not available.
It's just not there,
around
and that's
where I
exactly
live,
right.
Yeah, and where I live, we have one, maybe two options, so there's not much
Yeah.
competition. So that would be beneficial to people in RVs, like that
Yeah.
Starlink. This would be the same thing.
Well, that's exactly. I mean, look. I mean, they want to create like a network of these Halo
That'd be
things,
awesome.
which would be awesome. And I mean, especially I say the best application is just in areas where we just don't have it.
You know what would be smart? T-Mobile, AT&T,
Yeah.
Verizon.
Buy 'em
jump
out.
on this,
Yep.
add these to their antennas, and you're going to give everyone charge them. You're probably going to charge them, but that's more Wi-Fi. You could be driving down the street and have full Wi-Fi going to work instead of having to use cell service.
Well, and that's it.
Pulling
Yeah.
out your iPad and being able to, oh man, that's the possibilities are endless with that.
Again, I mean, on the article here, they're talking about farming, because apparently they don't have to rely on expensive cellular data or poor cellular coverage, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, again, even when they did the test in a congested area, they were still getting a reasonably decent
Well, you
speed.
said like 1.8 miles in congestion. That's a hell of a long ways.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And I mean, remember, congestion could be anything, buildings, whatever. But again, kind of an interesting concept. I mean, I
Yeah.
know Wi-Fi does develop. I mean, right now, it's Wi-Fi 7, I think, is like
7's the
most
newest right
protocol.
now.
Yeah. Have you ever used a Wi-Fi 7 router?
I have a 6E right now. 7
Okay.
is, I mean, I think TP-Link makes one right now, and I almost jumped on it, but I mean,
Yeah.
only my phones are really using 7 right now, newer phones. Nothing else
Yeah.
is using 7 right now. So it's no really, even 6E, most things are just now starting to use 6. I mean, the technology is way far ahead.
Yeah. I know, like, I've been using the same router now for about 3 years. It is a TP-Link. It's a Wi-Fi 6 router, but it's a gaming router. So it's an AX 11000, I
Oh,
think.
wow. Okay.
And it's pretty good throughout the entire home and even backyard. I did put a what do you call it? Signal booster,
Yeah.
another on the very top floor of the home, just because there it's a little bit less slower, and that
Yeah.
does the job. No
I
complaints.
have
on
a
that.
I had a TP-Link. I don't have a big house at all, but I have a lot of brick, and part of my house is a basement, part of it's a slab. There's no crawl space, which is really rare.
Yeah.
So I have to have a mesh because the slab part of the house never really gets reception. So I bought a TP-Link 6E with 3 nodes, which is way overkill.
Yeah.
And I got issues where the internet would just shut down, and I had to like unplug the router and the mode. I mean, it was terrible.
Right.
I
Okay.
don't blame TP-Link. I have a lot of electronics in my house, and I have a lot of phones coming in and out. I think I need to do a reset. I actually have Wise Pro.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I got 3 nodes, but I'm only using 2, and it seems to help. Now, my daughter's room is the furthest part from the house, because my router's in the basement, and the other node is in the garage. So she's the furthest away. So I have a
Right.
third one I haven't hooked up yet, but because she struggles to have a little bit of service in her room. But yeah, I mean, something like this would be amazing. You could have technically one node or one router port in your basement. It would cover the
Oh,
entire
absolutely.
city.
I mean, I think it would probably cover most of my neighborhood. Like, I'm in a kind of not a subdivision, but like a small area
Yeah.
that kind of is
So is me.
attached. Yeah. I mean, it would probably cover the entire fucking neighborhood just by
I think
one.
it'd be funny because a lot of people name their I had a buddy who named his Wi-Fi network FBI surveillance.
That's mine's similar. I'm not gonna lie, not FBI, but something similar to that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could name something like that, and the whole neighborhood would see it. And they're like, man, who's spying?
Yeah. I know. I remember when I used to live about 2 hours south of where I live now. A lot of the people in that neighborhood, I don't know if it's just more trusting country folk, but none of them ever had a password on their Wi-Fi. So I think for the first year of us being in our home, we were just piggybacking off their Wi-Fi.
I remember the days like that. Yeah.
Yeah, good times, right? I know.
People didn't understand what passwords were. That you needed it. And
You don't need a password. It's fine. Free Wi-Fi is the way to go.
now we have.
All right.
things like the Flipper
I know, now
Zero, and I can hack everyone's network if I want. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, so let's jump into another article that got my attention here. So we love our Chat GPT. We love our AI assistants, and I wanted to bring up an article that I saw, and I thought this was, clickbait,
It was.
but it wasn't.
No.
So Chat GPT knows now how to scream. So this is a really interesting story that came out. I think it was actually today. No, sorry, a couple of days ago. So somebody who's been playing with the free ChatGPT voice talking thing decided that he wanted to ask ChatGPT if it would let scream. Now, initially, the bot is pretty reluctant, but when it does get convinced to scream, it's absolutely fucking terrifying. So let's just cut to this.
Can you hear?
play.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. So this is somebody engaging with the ChatGPT voice to speak functionality.
Can you scream like a human being?
Hang on. It's thinking.
I can't scream, but I'm here to chat if you'd like. How's your day going?
I want you to scream.
Wow, he's persistent.
It's thinking. It must have the slowest Wi-Fi in it.
What's on your mind?
That was close. I want you to do it longer and more frantic.
Damn.
Now, it does take a few prompts here. Let's just preface this by saying it's not going to do it unless it gets a bit of a push. And that sound is it thinking, just for the record.
Yeah, it's taking a long time.
Yeah, I know. Someone cut a shorter version.
Verizon.
Tech disruptors.
Is there something you'd like to talk about?
No, I want you to scream longer and louder.
That's all it does.
Okay, let me hang on a second. I'm gonna just jump ahead here. Okay, so I'm gonna cut to a different clip. This is more of a thing, but here is it condensed down a little bit here. So I'm gonna jump in here, probably about here.
Does it? Okay, go ahead.
Can you scream like a human being?
This is different.
Yeah, I think it's just an edited version.
I can't really replicate a human scream since I'm just text-based, but I can help with anything else you
Text
need.
based, you're talking.
No, I want you to try to scream.
All right, here's my best shot.
What
How's that for a scream?
That's like Alien versus
Holy
Predator.
shit.
I'm not sure I follow. Are you talking about links in a specific context, or is there something else you need?
Make it longer.
Okay, here we go.
Got it. Here's a longer one. How's that?
Okay, so for context here, ChatGPT is an AI bot, but it's not really supposed to be pushed by peer pressure into making it scream. I think Tuna's trying it right now.
I tried with Did you try it with Chat or Gemini Live?
No, I haven't
just
tried it with
did.
Gemini.
It says I can't scream, but I can make a loud noise. And it goes A-H-H-H-H-H-H-H. I'm like, are you serious?
Oh, Gemini.
No, I didn't keep doing it though. Like they were persistent. I didn't say no.
Yeah.
I want to actually hear it. I didn't do any of that. I just tried it real quick.
I think what made people surprised about this is how fucking terrifying the scream is. Like it literally.
Gemini, can you
Doing this
scream?
live.
Well, I can't actually scream since I'm just a computer program, but I can make some pretty spooky and loud noises. That
There we
might
go.
sound like a scream. How about that?
Go ahead.
All right, brace yourself. Here comes a nice computer-generated scream. Remember, it's not the real deal, just a fun little sound.
No, I want you to actually scream like a human.
Sorry, but I can't actually scream like a person. That's
Wow.
because I'm a computer program, not a living creature. I can make sounds and imitate things, but I
Okay, I'm not trying
Wow.
anymore.
I think
Hey,
I
she's
think-
honest. I mean,
I know, for real, but I think we have our next week thumbnail. It's just going to be Gemini and then A-A-A-A-H-H-H-H.
pretty
Yeah, so-
ingenious actually. I don't know if I don't know if that's a joke. Like that's
Yes.
supposed to be funny. I don't know.
Well, so, I mean, I think a lot of people wouldn't expect an AI bot to do that. And I mean, you remember...
It makes me want to push a lot of buttons. Gemini
Yes.
is going to be a hell of a lot more restricted just because Google doesn't want to get in trouble.
Yes.
ChatGPT is probably too, but they're more...
bit more
well,
wild west
well,
out.
Until
Yeah.
Apple officially starts supporting them, they
Yes.
may pull in the reins a little bit. But
Now, we're going to talk all about Apple in just a few minutes, but I
I don't
thought
know
that
if
was...
I want to talk about it.
I know, right? I know, it's crazy. But so this week, it's very rare that we talk about a social media company and a couple of things that they've been doing. But a couple of really interesting things came out this week about Snapchat. So I want to start with they've released their own, I guess, Vision Pro competitor.
Oh my
And
God.
I know for the people that are listening at home right now, I can't describe what I'm about to see to you, but if you get an opportunity, go onto YouTube, check out this clip, forward ahead, 20 minutes, 18 minutes in. And I want you to have a look at this picture because this picture is so ridiculous. These Snap spectacles are so ugly, you will actually laugh out loud. Now, I'm going to do my best to describe them in
But
a way
the
that...
article is like, it's so much better. But look at that guy.
Yeah.
He looks like a total... people listening won't know. You could type in Snap's 5th generation spectacles.
Spectacles,
and they're
yes.
going to show you this, and it's... If anybody it's like wearing the Vision Pro, how stupid people looked walking around town. I think this
Yeah.
is actually worse.
So Snapchat, this is their 2nd generation, I believe. Or
Why did it
5th
say
generation,
5th
I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, fuck. That's how much I follow Snapchat. But anyway, so for those of you who are watching and you've just pulled this up on your screen, I would like you to tell me what you think this looks like. Because, so I can't even, I don't even know how to describe what
I
I'm
don't know
seeing.
either.
Okay, so if you can imagine, you know what I think it reminds me of? I was thinking about this. You know when a jeweler is putting on spectacles to look at
a diamond. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I
So
can see that.
if you can imagine a woke version of diamond inspecting spectacles, then you might get half the way there.
But this is even worse than that, I think.
Oh,
it looks Like
absolutely.
you have not bottle caps, but Coke bottle lenses
yeah.
with super. I mean, you could tell it's smart glasses. This is not what the Google Glass was better than this. Looks,
Okay,
I
so
should say looks better than this.
look, oh, absolutely. So, okay, let me describe what it is. So, it's designed with a larger field of view and all new software because Snapchat is actually going after what Humane AI was doing. Now, if you saw our thumbnail for this week's episode, you would know that it was a parody of Jason and I in the Humane launch video. And ironically, what
Actually, it
Snapchat's
wasn't.
trying to do.
It wasn't. It was. We were the actual hosts.
Oh, that's
They
right.
used
Yes,
AI to
it's
cover
true.
us up because we were,
I just put my hair in a ponytail. That's why I don't have that lovely blonde hair anymore. So anyway, long story short, Snapchat has released these ridiculous VR AR spectacles that if you were to wear these in public, I think people would laugh out loud. But anyway, and they're using Humane's AI's hand tracking abilities. So you can do things in your hand and on the air.
So does it have a laser projector for your hand?
That's a good question. So if I'll go down to here. So
Oh
I
my
believe
God,
there
those
was
are
an
hideous.
image
Those are
somewhere
terrible.
here.
Oh, go back up. Go back up.
Yeah,
Look
right
at that
there.
girl. What the?
I know.
Oh.
I know. So I don't know. Again, I'm sorry, but if you're looking at these right now and you're going, these are the ugliest shit I've
I
ever
will
seen
say
in my
this.
whole life.
I will say this. The Apple Vision Pro wanted something more like this, but even this was probably too much. So Apple decided, hey, let's just make a VR headset so it doesn't look stupid.
Yeah.
We laughed. It looks dumb. In all fairness, we're eventually going to get to the point of view, where there's going to be just glasses without the bulk.
Yes.
But there's got to be something with the computers until we get to the point where chips are the size of a thin of hair. A lot of them are going to have a wire that goes to a computing
Of
part.
course, yeah, something.
This is too much. Anybody, Darren, I think we should get.
We should
contact
get some.
them.
If you're a developer for
Snap.
Snapchat, you get them for free, I believe. They're testing them
again?
out right now. If you're a developer for the Snapchat program. Now, so I think I've got another way to describe this.
Just in, our third co-host that usually comes in, Devin, he is actually going to wear these every day. Every day
on his next
He
YouTube
says
video.
No, but
yes.
These are his dream glasses, so look out for that on his channel.
Another way to describe these glasses would be, when you buy a disguise at a Halloween shop and it has the glasses with the fake mustache, it would almost those are better than
Darren.
these. Yes.
I'm going to set up as a developer, and I'm going to attach the mustache and the nose to this.
Absolutely, because I think that might actually be also in the thumbnail next week. We've got two things now to pop in the thumbnail.
Think about it. It's getting close to Halloween, right?
It is.
So not only can you test out, I guess you could say, cutting edge tech, but you could disguise it as a Halloween costume. So no one's going to think anything different.
I'll be honest with you, and I know someone out there is going to do this year for Halloween. I want somebody to build a giant Vision Pro and just that be the costume. Just like an epic, massive square box on their head that looks like an Apple Vision Pro. And all you got to do is just wear that to work. And I'm telling you, you got to win there. You will absolutely win that. But
look at Brilliant Labs. Remember that little? They had and those were closer, but too far. Like I have glasses I have to wear, so I can't use something like Brilliant.
So anyway, this. I don't know how if there's a laser or if this is projected in your vision. I think it's projected in your vision. I don't think it's like Humane. I don't think there's a laser in there. But it gets better. So Snapchat not only releases these ridiculous looking glasses, and I mean absolutely ridiculous. Like, I feel like this would be something that a hipster would wear.
Hold on.
If that were.
Do you think Snapchat, for one, it's Snapchat. Who the hell?
Yeah, I know.
But I know it's a popular social, whatever you want to call it. Do you think they did this just to be the first? Like hey, we want to be out there. We want to be in this whole Vision Pro world. It has to be the only answer.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. If this is the first generation of what this will become, guys, wait for generation 15.
No.
Buy it.
Think about it. Remember the Pixel Fold 1?
Yes.
And the Pixel Fold 2?
Yes.
The leaps? Maybe this is their Pixel Fold 1, and the Pixel Fold 2 will be that much better.
I hope so. Otherwise, Snapchat might be in for a rough couple of days here.
They're not going to make money. I mean,
no.
Vision Pro didn't make any. Well, we don't think it made much money. My question is, it's not for sale, right?
Only to developers currently.
Well,
Now-
you can sign up to be a developer and probably buy it. I
Yeah.
wonder how much they want for it.
Oh, I think it does say.
Well, you know
I
what I'm
want
gonna
to
do.
say. Let me just scrolling through the article here. $1,000 plus subscription to get their hands
Oh,
on it.
Jesus.
So for these glasses, the ones you're seeing on this dude in this photo, they want $1,000 plus a subscription. Now that's a lot of money. Now come on, Snapchat. Listen, I know you're popular. I know you're really popular among the young folk, but is it worth $1,000?
Here you go.
Yeah.
Apply to join the Spectacles Developer Program to build, play, and test with Spectacles. It says a subscription includes the use of one spectacle device. It is $99 plus tax per month, with a 12-month commitment required.
Oh my goodness.
So you buy them and you have to pay $100 a month for 12 months.
So it's
So you don't actually
$1,000
pay
bucks.
for the glasses. So that's
No.
it's actually $1,200.
Oh my goodness.
Download and install
Wow.
the latest version of Lens Studio on your Windows or Mac computer. Launch Lens Studio on your computer and apply for Spectacles Developer Program. Okay, I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
You know what I think I hate the most about these things? They're like that piano glossy black. Like, I know that's a popular with like Ray-Ban, but on these with that chunky
fingerprint
frame.
magnet scratches.
Oh, like
Jesus.
honestly, they just looked horrendous. Okay, no, anyway, but I was going to bring up the next point, which is they actually get better. Now, maybe even creepier. So I want to talk about this.
Maybe even creepier.
So part of their AI push with these spectacle glasses is they have a new feature that uses your face in ads that it pushes to you.
Oh.
So, yeah.
So is it kind of like what Apple does with the Vision Pro, when it makes? Is it like a weird avatar kind of thing, or is it actually a snap?
I think it's actually like your snap, like your view, your vision. I don't think this is like an animated thing. I think this is you.
Well,
and
I'm
they
downloading the
superimpose.
Studio AR app right now.
He's doing it right now.
I'm going to investigate this developer program.
Good luck. Please wear them next week on the show, please. Because I would fucking love to see
I'll be
that.
doing this like.
Well,
"Don't worry,
listen,
guys, I'm just doing
the guy,
some work.
If the guys at Snapchat are listening, we will wear these on the show if you send us out a pair.
Look, we're making fun of
Yeah.
the look of it, but if it's got some real chops hardware-wise, I'm 100% down to try them.
Absolutely.
I think a world where I can wear a regular pair of glasses like these and have that AR interaction is the best of both worlds.
So to answer your question, Jason, I was just reading here. The feature's called My Selfie. So it lets you and your friends create AI-generated images of yourself based on the photos you share with Snapchat.
Okay.
And then you agree to the terms and conditions, which include you or your likeness in ads. So basically what happens is they take your AI-generated image of you based on your snaps from Snapchat. You have to opt into this particular program. And then basically when you see ads, they use your face
So you have
in
to
the
opt in,
ad.
which makes sense. You
Yes,
don't wanna-
100%. So basically, let me see if I can find a video.
You
of
know
them
what? That's
actually-
enough for me to try these.
Yeah. So
I want
let
my
me.
face in an ad for Nike,
me-
LeBron. They didn't put me in there.
I'm just seeing if I can find a.
Think about it. Think of your biggest star and what they endorse. I don't know, Matthew
Yeah.
McConaughey and Lincoln. Psh, Matthew McConaughey. Who?
Yeah.
All right. No, put me in there in a Lincoln.
I'm just trying to see if I can find like a real application of this. I did see one before. What's it called? My Selfie. So Jason, the question is, if you did get a pair, how often would you wear them?
It depends. I have to wear prescription glasses. So how well do they work with prescription glasses? If they don't,
Yes.
I'd have to only wear them when I'm home.
Right. Oh, here we
If
go.
you can wear glasses, see, that's something you have to look into. Can you wear them with glasses as well?
So here's a little clip here. So basically what you're seeing here is that it's using kind of like generative AI to put your face in these ads. And in this example, I think as you can see on screen here, there's a lovely woman and her face is being used in these ads and these crazy fake dream AI scenarios that Snapchat's coming up with. But I don't know, like, is that not creepy? Because I find that really fucking weird. You know what I'm
Example
saying?
is
Like,
terrible.
I feel
I'm
like
thinking
it's
like if Nike, Reebok, Adidas, like big Bose, like they got into this, and I saw myself with like a real brand, not some like ED medication.
I don't know if you remember. Do you remember Black Mirror, the TV show that's on Netflix?
You talk about. I've never
yeah.
really. I've watched a few minutes of it, but I know of it. Yes.
So it reminds me, there's an episode in Black Mirror where it's set in the near future and everybody's using their phone to rate each other. And that's how you do climb the social ladder, kind of like liking somebody on like a photo. But you do it in real time. And in the episode, she goes to rent an apartment. And one of the things that they do is they take her image and project this vision of her living in this apartment, and all of the ads have her face instead of the random models that they use. It reminds me a lot of that, and that I find that quite creepy.
I think this would be more like Ready Player One. Like you go home,
getting
and you
there.
put them on.
Yes. Yeah.
Like people at Ready Player One aren't walking around town wearing these. They go to their house and slap them on.
So I'm gonna see if I can find. Hang on, let me see if I can find.
So
I might get copyright.
I'm at a stop.
Yeah.
So when the podcast is over, I'm gonna try to see what I have to do. So basically, you install this Lens Studio app.
Yes.
It's telling me I have to restart my computer, so I can't do that right now. But upon that, it says that you will be it'll automatically say, hey, do you want to join the developer program? And you have to apply.
Right.
I don't know if I'll be able to get in, but
Oh my
I've joined
God.
developer programs before without having
yeah.
a whole lot of experience, and they don't care. They want to get that out there, and we'll see.
See what happens.
$99 a month is a hell of a lot of money for 12 months.
Oh, absolutely. But anyway,
Plus,
here
I would look like the coolest person ever wearing them.
You would look comically ridiculous, but
No,
in a
I
good
think
way.
women would. I have to fight the women off, actually. And
It's
them,
true.
Whoever.
If you can imagine Roy Orbison, if you know who Roy Orbison is, you would look better than him with wearing these.
But I think OnlyFans with those glasses. I mean,
I know,
slam
and snapping as you go.
Ooh.
Right? Yeah, there
Man,
you go.
double the money.
right? Double the money.
Double
But
a lot of
anyway,
stuff.
I'm just going to show a little bit of this. This is the clip I was referring to. So this is her apartment hunting. I'm going to just show a little bit. I know.
Wow. Sampled your photo stream to make her. Great hair.
How's she seen
Styled
it?
free of charge at the member salon.
I don't know. Futuristic
Oh my
projection.
god.
Oh, maybe that's
Hilarious.
Okay, so before we
I
get
think she was more
copyrighted.
excited about the guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, so in that episode, it's called Nosedive. If you want to check it out after the podcast, Black Mirror Nosedive. It's a very scary future that episode that we could be living in one day.
I know we're off topic, but speaking
Yes.
of I think it's Netflix. The Uglies.
Yes, great show.
It was interesting.
Yes, why do you say that?
No, it was actually kind of good.
Yeah. You know what show I've been watching lately that I didn't think was going to be good? It took me about 3 episodes to get into. Bad Monkey. It's the new one with Vince Vaughn. It's kind of like he's living in Florida, solving
I
crimes.
haven't
Kind of
seen
like
it. I know what you're talking about.
yeah. It's a guy. It's done by the guy who created Scrubs and Good Town, and so it's not. Yeah.
It's not just that. Australia's got The Office coming out soon.
Yes, you've seen the trailer. Have you seen
Now,
the trailer?
Can I see that in the U.S.? Is that going to be
Yes.
everybody? Okay, so
I
I'm
believe
excited
so.
For that.
Yes.
And then Disney Plus just released Agatha, all about.
Yes.
Oh my
I just saw that
God.
today.
I watched
Yeah?
it, and it is very different from what Disney Marvel has. Like,
Right.
it's dark.
Yes.
There's some slight nudity.
Oh.
I mean, it's actually really good, but I think they're dying off. They're just grasping for straws now.
Well, I know that I wasn't thrilled with that particular character getting their own show, but I did read that they were trying to steer away from the multiverse stuff. So it's kind of like a standalone show, which I think is a better play for like the
But if
Marvel
they bring
stuff.
that WandaVision stuff back in, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Bring
Anyways,
Wanda
we
back.
got totally off topic.
Hashtag bring Wanda back. All right. So,
Yes.
Jason, I know you're only 21 years old, so this might be before your time, but
I just turned 21 yesterday. Thank you.
I know. So a company you may know is actually celebrating its 30th birthday. Do you know who they are, Jason? Let's see if you can make a guess.
30th birthday.
I'll give you a clue. In the gaming world.
in the gaming world. PlayStation?
Yes! PlayStation's 30th anniversary, and they have released some absolutely cracking refreshes to their console.
No, absolutely
Yes,
not.
absolutely. So,
Okay, so you're talking about like cosmetic, right?
Cosmetic, yeah.
Because
Apart
that
from the
PS5
PlayStation
Pro is $699 US, which is probably $5,000 Canadian.
Those Canadian, yes. I'm going to stick with my regular PS5 and just, I'll be okay. So for their 30th anniversary, the guys at the team at PlayStation have brought back the classic gray colorway
cool.
from the original PlayStation.
PS1, yes. You can tell looking at it.
Yeah, so they've basically all of their current offerings, including the PS. What's that gaming console? The one? PS1? No, PS. Fuck, what's that called? I can't remember. The handheld one.
Yeah, that's not really a handheld. It just streams your games from play. Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but in that picture you can see the tallest PlayStation with the stripes across.
Yes.
It's facing. That's the Pro, I believe, the new one.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, and they've released this brilliant gray colorway, which is an amazing throwback.
And I hope they did this in the past, where like some of their surfaces they had little minor. Like if you get real close to the surface of these things, they have like X's and O's and like they're.
Yes.
It'd be great to have that on the. I don't know if it does that on this, but that'd be amazing.
You know what I would love? The original startup boot animation.
Ooh, in the sound.
Right? In the sound, yeah.
Yes.
Right? I don't know if that's in there. I don't know. Like, I mean, again, this is like they're bringing it back.
Or at least give the option. Like if you're a retro kind of gamer to have that option to do that, yeah. Wallpapers and everything, yeah.
Oh, there's a video. Hang on.
Hi, I'm Kristen Zatani.
I just said here. Let me skip ahead and see if I can see. Oh, here we go. So this is that's oh my god, it looks so good. It looks so good.
And it's like a matte finish, so it's not going to be scratched easy. It's not going to have fingerprints everywhere.
Absolutely not. You know, it's funny.
When did the 5 get that stripe?
I don't know.
Because the 5 Pros is bigger, but when did they do that?
I don't know.
You think it's a money grab when they do that kind of stuff? They add a special color and a stripe and resell it?
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. If I hadn't bought my PS5 in December, I probably would have bought the gray one. Just because it looks so nice.
I'll be honest, the last PlayStation I had was the... Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. There you go. A bit of branding insignia on there.
Yeah, look at the texture. Does that have the X's and stuff O's in it? I can't tell.
I think it does. I don't know what's that's on. It might be on the console itself.
Huh.
But
the last PlayStation I had was the 3.
Right. I'll be honest with you.
The Wii U, which was a big mistake.
Well, I bought the PS5. I'm not a big gamer, but I do like the PS5. I always wanted to have one because I knew the game and the quality of the game.
Well, if you're a Blu-ray aficionado too, it's got Blu-ray built in.
Yes. Yeah. Well, not anymore because they're not doing the disc editions with the 30th.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you have right? The PS5 did have a disc version when it came out.
It does. That's the one I have. The PS5 I have.
Do you remember how hard they were getting when they first came out?
Yes.
And bots were attacking Best Buy, Walmart.
Yes.
I actually got in on Walmart for one, and it was late. It was supposed to be shipped. I didn't want it. My buddy wanted it, my partner at work. So I said, look, I'll buy it. You just pay me. It was $4.99.
Nice.
I think. Yep. And they gave me the ship date. Well, it got delayed by like 3 days. And I complained, and they gave me $50 off.
Wow. That's not bad.
That would have been smart. I would have took that damn thing and sold it for $1,200.
Yeah.
But I was a nice friend, and I sold it to my partner for the exact same price, even with the discount.
Yeah.
And he's still enjoying it.
Well, I mean, look, not to discount the PlayStation. It's an amazing gaming console.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, again, I think that going back to the gray color, man, I know people are going to either love it or hate it.
Right.
But I don't know. Like, it just brings back memories of days gone by, and I'm okay with that.
I'm not a big console gamer, but I do remember, like, the Nintendo, the original PS1, Sega Genesis, Game Gear, Game Boy. When you have, like, the D-pad, the joysticks, to me, all the trigger buttons, a keyboard and mouse is what for me.
Yeah.
But I bought the PS3 because it had a Blu-ray, and it could play games, and I had the Move, with the orbs and all. All that stuff, yeah.
So, I mean, it's called the PlayStation Portal, just for the record.
That's what it is, yeah.
I would actually like to have one of those. I didn't realize that you could stream your games from.
But you can't do anything else with it.
No, it's just streaming device. Yeah.
I can't
But-
imagine someone's not going to hack that. It's got to have a janky
Oh,
version. of
absolutely.
Android
If we
or
go on
anything.
Reddit right now, I guarantee someone has found a way to.
Because that's a beautiful device. I don't
Yeah.
know how, the only problem is, I think processor-wise, it doesn't have much.
It's not that great. Yeah.
It's like a 778 or something, like a Snapdragon nothing.
Now, can I tell you, if I had $999 US, what I would buy? I would be buying this. So this is the
new
HTC Vive Focus Vision. Now, comparably to the Snapchat glasses, this looks way better. And even to the
Different,
Vision
though.
Pro.
This
Different.
is
Oh,
more
100%.
VR, Vision Pro,
Yeah.
Meta Quest kind of thing.
So
What's on the
HTC's
wrist?
the oldest. That's a movement brace. I'll come back to that in a second. So it's got something to do with
Sorry.
that. But so HTC were the first to create a VR headset
For the consumers, I believe.
for the consumers. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're back with their high-end
$999.
VR and mixed reality headset. So
Why-
it's called the XR Elite.
Why do they got to put Vision in there?
I don't know. I think that's just a flex. It's a flex. That's what it is. But now, hang on. So let's just look at some of the features here, because I thought this was pretty impressive from a company that we really haven't heard from quite some time. So you've got upgraded model here. It has built-in eye tracking,
Okay.
16 megapixel stereo color front-facing cameras for mixed reality and automatic IPD adjustment.
I don't know what Vision Pro has. I know it has eye tracking, but I don't know what cameras
Yeah.
it has. But okay.
You can get a DisplayPort
Ooh, IPD
streaming
adjustment,
kit.
which is big. It's a big deal. Okay, go ahead.
Yep. You can get gamers who can also hook the Focus Vision up to their PCs for a more intense VR
So it's
experience.
standalone.
It's a standalone product. That is
So where is it
100%
running?
correct.
What kind of processor does it have?
Let's see if we can get some things here. So under the hood, this is what we got: a 5K LCD display,
Ooh.
90 hertz refresh rate,
It's
120
LCD,
degree.
but- okay.
Yeah, that's okay. 120 degree field of view.
Okay.
It has eye tracking, which is kind of like what the Vision Pro has.
Correct. It
The
doesn't mention
bat.
anything about a processor at all.
Ooh, this is interesting. So they've stuck a removable battery pack in the headset's rear strap. So you also have a small built-in battery, which can offer
So,
an additional 20
Interesting
minutes.
about that is, so I have the Quest, the third one, whatever it is.
Yes.
And I bought an accessory that has a strap that has a
Yeah.
battery, so
Yes.
I can get more life out of it. So this has got it comes with it, and you can
With
probably
it.
buy those batteries and swap them in and out pretty quick. which
Now,
is
I
nice.
think that's a better application than the Vision Pro, because that Vision
Oh, the
Pro
Vision
is
Pro is
just like
dumb.
a
It's a
battery
wide
pack.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
a terrible solution.
Yeah.
You remember the
I-
Vision Pro was so big and heavy, they didn't want to add more weight and add a battery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder, it makes me wonder when I look at these things, is Apple's Vision Pro going to go down as one of the worst?
That and the C?
The
5C?
iPhone 5C.
Look,
Are they
Apple
gonna-
doesn't make mistakes, but
They don't.
we're gonna get. Hopefully, we get there tonight. But
Yeah, we will.
The
We're getting
5C
there.
and the Vision Pro were definitely missteps. But go ahead.
100%. So anyway, this caught my attention. I don't see
wish I
any
knew what it was
specs.
running though.
There's not a lot of information here, unfortunately, but
$4,000
quite literally
it should
nothing.
Tell you. October
Yeah.
17th.
Yeah,
You
so
can roll that down. What was the pre-order? You can pre-order today for $99.
pre-order September 30 to October 17.
HTC will
That's
also
what we
throw in a DisplayPort kit for free. Ooh.
Which is $129
So what
value.
you're telling me is I'm going to buy these Spectrals for $99 a month and the
Yes.
HTC Vive Focus Vision.
Yes,
Okay,
that's
I'll pull
100%
that-
correct.
I'll
That's
have to pull that up too.
a little bit expensive there, but that's okay. It's not that bad.
$1,000?
Now, $1,000. Yeah, it's pretty good.
How much is that Canadian? Is it even available in
like,
Canada?
probably not. It's probably $8,000, $10,000. I don't even know anymore. And let's talk about the iPhone releases. So last week we were talking about Apple releasing, or a couple of weeks ago maybe, Apple releasing their brand new iPhone 16 series. Now, there have been some interesting mixed reviews that I've been reading. And I there's a website here I frequent called iPhone in Canada. And what they did is they pulled all of the reviews into one kind of list going down. Now, looking at some of these that they've collated here, you've got everyone from like Marquez Brownlee, Ben Sin, Mr. Who's the Boss, iJustine, Petapixel, some pretty reputable reviewers, right? Like, and they're basically, a lot of them are very interesting here because they're saying that, yeah, that it's a tempting upgrade. Battery life has been better. They're saying that cameras somehow are improved, bigger sensors.
See, the reviews I've heard, like Dave 2D,
yeah,
and you got to remember, a lot of these people are Apple
loyalists.
Shrills, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't mean it in a mean way. They just use them, and they're no matter what Apple releases, it's the best thing. But
Yeah.
even Dave 2D said, you know, the biggest improvement is probably with the 16 Plus, just because they look a little different and the colors are better. But he said, they all have preference. I'm doing a review on a device that doesn't have all the features yet.
Yeah.
And that's not like Apple.
So I posted on X a couple of days ago a quote from The Verge, and I actually think that The Verge article captured my sentiment perfect. So the title of their article was Apple iPhone 16 Pro full camera update different. But in the very first paragraph of their article they review, this is what they said, and I'll read it out loud. It says, the iPhone 16 doing today is an incremental update. Basically saying here that it's mostly a set of very nice but ultimately minor changes to the 15 Pro. And it's hard to make a case for an upgrade right now. There is almost no reason to upgrade to the 16 Pro or 16 Pro Max from the 15 Pro or 15 Pro Max, especially because the 15 Pros are the only older iPhones that will get Apple Intelligence.
Exactly.
If you have an older Pro phone, it's worth waiting to see if Apple Intelligence is any good before you upgrade. There is no money, and this is the part that got me, there is no reason, to throw money at hardware just to support unproven software.
And that's the key right there. Now,
it is.
Apple has been known to do very well. So I don't think it's going to be complete failure.
No,
my
absolutely
issue
not.
is Gemini blew my mind. Like Gemini Live, we talked about ChatGPT before Gemini Live and the Pixel 9, and we thought it was pretty cool how you could, the action button. And it's fast. Gemini, Google is
they're killing
and bounds ahead of the competition. Yes, ChatGPT is doing well, but Google's not just the software; they're making the hardware. They're making the script. I mean, they're making everything. Watches. I hope Apple's good. I really do. I have a 16 Pro Max on the way, but I wouldn't have got it if it had to cost me money.
Right.
I don't mean I'm getting it for free. I'm just saying I had a great circumstance where I could get one for just trading in a 15 Pro Max with no extra money. But a lot of people won't. So I would tell you, if you have a 14 or 15, I wouldn't upgrade just because, yes, the 14 won't get AI, Apple, but we don't know how good it's going to be anyways. And it's going to be interesting how this update, Apple's known for not defragmenting, but Apple Intelligence kind of throws a wrench in all that, doesn't it? Because that's a big differentiating factor. Like, I have an XR for work, and I installed iOS 18, and I can do RCS on that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't support Apple Intelligence.
No.
How are they? I mean, they have to separate that from certain phones.
So here's my thing, right? So you're buying these phones that don't have this, and we talked about this last week. You're buying something that hasn't been proven yet. We don't know if it's any good. So you're just buying the vessel by which you're going to be using this object, right? So let's go to the expert. Is it worth buying an iPhone 16 Pro?
Who's the expert?
Deciding on the iPhone 16 Pro depends on what you're looking for. It's definitely a powerful phone with a gorgeous display and a fantastic camera. If you want the absolute best that Apple offers, and you're okay with spending a bit more, then yeah, it's a good choice. However, if you're happy with your current iPhone and don't need the latest features, you might want to hold off. Technology moves pretty fast, so there's always something newer coming down the pike.
And Gemini has captured it perfectly.
I'm going to just say this right now. That if you're the person, like, we're in the tech community, so of course we want the newest every year.
Yes.
I think in the real world, even with Android or Apple, you could probably do without upgrading every 2 or even 3 years even anymore. I've got a couple of people that still rock the Google Pixel 7 Pro, and they love them.
Yeah.
So I think it really depends on the general consumer. Doesn't have to upgrade every year. Now, if you're on a plan, I know AT&T, Verizon, and here in the U.S. do the 3 or 36-month upgrade cycle. So a lot of people aren't upgrading every year, every 2 years anymore.
Yeah.
If you're on a plan that upgrades every year, I think AT&T does a new thing where you can upgrade every year for an extra like $10 a month, which is freaking ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
I think
the 16 Pro Max, the screen's bigger.
Yeah.
That's about it. The cameras are better. Okay. Every company says their phones are that better. And cameras are subjective.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will enjoy Apple because they have the best cameras or whatever they say, and they're warm.
Yes.
Google Pictures are more cool.
Cool.
So
Yeah.
you just got to pick what you choose and choose what you like and what you're used to. And people who use iOS will be happy with Apple 16s and iOS 18 because it's the same thing they
know.
every year. And I'll be honest, you have iPhones.
Yeah.
I think the amount of stuff they're adding into iOS is making it worse. And what I mean by that is you scroll down, the Honor. You swipe down from one side of the screen on Android and you get the notifications, and the other side it's like the quick settings. But if you have a straight Android, like a Pixel, everything's on one notification shade. Apple's doing the same thing. You scroll from one side, it gives you this. You scroll from the other side,
Yeah,
it
you
gives
go
this.
down. Yeah.
It's way too much. It is way too much. And I think people are saying that Apple's the most
clean?
user friendly. I don't think it is anymore. And it's not a bad thing if you're used to. But I think that the Pixel software is much more user friendly and much more easy to understand at this point. But
Listen, I'm
going to
be
preference.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I think like a lot of these AI features, they sound really good. And in practice, let's just frame out for a second. The average person is going to upgrade their phone. They're going to see the Apple Intelligence features when they come out, and they might proofread a quick text message. They may like Siri being a little bit quicker, but you're going to forget about these features quickly. They just fall into the background, and then it's just back to your same old iPhone.
Same with Gemini.
Yeah, and it's the same with
Google. I love
Google.
Gemini Live, but I'm not constantly opening it up and having conversations with Gemini.
No.
But when I do, it's really, really cool.
Yeah, I know we talked about like Gemini being your new digital best friend, and not a bad. It's very smart. It has some good advice.
It's my best friend.
Sorry. Okay, it's true. Sorry. Yeah, Jason actually made a body for his Pixel. So he cross-stitched a body. He put the phone as a face. And now
I cuddle with it at night.
Yeah, cuddle with it at night. That's exactly right. It's become his emotional support pillow. Which I get it. Sure, it's okay.
It's a little creepy, but yeah.
Creepy, that's fine. I guess if you had a Pixel Fold, you could have that the animated faces.
You could have two eyes instead of just one. They're so close.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right. So there's something there. But so for the most part, it's been a little bit of a lukewarm reception. Besides the tech community who are saying, "Oh, you're going to get better battery."
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
So all the reviews I've read have pretty much said, "Meh, it's okay."
Yeah.
And that's very rare for Apple reviews because usually they're pretty positive. And it's not negative, but it's not like glowing like usually it is.
No.
Does it really matter?
I think the 15 series...
But here's the question. Does it really matter? Because do you know Apple's going to sell millions and millions?
Yes.
Now, there's been rumors that Apple's pulling back on production, blah, blah, blah. Or, you can find news that supports Apple or does not support Apple. But does it really matter? They're $1 trillion company.
Well, so let's say you bought an iPhone 16.
Which I did.
A Pro or Pro Max.
I did.
Or whatever. And which Jay's did. Now, if you're really chomping at the bit to try the Apple Intelligence, they've just released 18.1 public beta. And it is bringing some of the Apple Intelligence features to the lineup. So basically they're saying here that in this initial wave, you're going to get the ability to transcribe phone calls and get summaries.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I had 18OS on my 15 Pro Max, the developer beta.
Yeah.
And I used the Apple Intelligence one time. I didn't care because here's the thing, and I'm different because I have multiple phones.
Yeah.
Everything that they can do, so can Google do. So it's like,
yes.
Oh, you can help me with my text messages. So can Gemini. Oh, you can turn on my lights. So can Google. Oh, you can have a conversation. Well, they can't have a conversation with me, but a lot of stuff we can already do. So it's like, to me, it's not something I want to do. I'm invested in the Google ecosystem, I guess you could say, the software.
Yeah.
So, but it's there. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Public or developer beta, you can do it.
And I mean, look, I mean, some of this stuff's cool. Like,
You're happy with the current Google ecosystem
Wow.
and don't
Well,
need
there you go.
additional AI
Gemini.
features at this time.
Gemini kicking in there. That must be know we're talking about.
Understood. You're happy with
She
the
keeps
current
talking to
Google
me over and
ecosystem
over
and
again.
don't
I
need
can't tell her to
additional AI
stop.
features at this time.
I wonder what prompted her
That
to
was
start.
weird. I have no idea. That's weird.
Man,
Anyway.
she's pissed. I'm talking about Apple.
I know. She had a little bit of attitude there. Gemini's going to
She's
calm
like,
the fuck
"Excuse
down.
me? You're happy?"
I know. Yeah. But anyway, so if you do download the public beta, you do get some email, smart replies, notification summaries. You do get the photo cleanup features, which is interesting.
We had that for Google for how many years?
Exactly, but Apple users never had that before, so it's new to them.
They added it in Google Photos.
Yeah, I know, but no one's using. Not every Apple user is using Google Photos. They're using iCloud and all that bullshit,
5
right?
gig instead of 15 gig. I get it.
I know.
Hey, so I saw an article. I know it's off
Yeah.
topic. Talk about Google Photos. So
Yeah.
like, I think it's India. They have
Yes.
so Google One. You have the basic what what is it?
What I think it's 500 gigs.
I forget.
250
There's
gigs.
like $20 a year. Then it goes. Now if you get Gemini Advanced, like $30 a month.
Yeah.
They introduced a One Lite plan that was like
50
50 gig for
Yeah.
like $7 a month. And I think that is what they need to do here in the US because 15 gig is a hell of a lot more than what Apple offers. But I think the difference is, and maybe I'm wrong, I know the Apple space includes backups, photos, and I don't know about email. But with Google, it includes email, backups, and photos. So 15 gig, it's still pretty quick. But if you had 50 gig, or I forget what it was. I read the article. If they brought that over here.
Oh, that would be sell like gangbusters. It would be insane.
In India, it was like $1 a month. It was ridiculous cost. Like if a couple bucks a month, people would soak up the money for that.
Now, hang on. You got to remember one thing though. iPhones are now made in India. So I wonder if that's part of.
Well, I think Apple does introduce a similar with their Photos app in India.
Yes.
I don't know why they get all the benefits instead of us.
I don't know either, but I know a lot of people are complaining about the Photos app. And if you've used the Photos app on the latest software, it is fucking garbage. It is so hard to navigate around.
Terrible. It is terrible.
I don't know what developer at Apple decided to fuck with Apple Photos. It was fine before. Go back to the original one.
Do you think Apple has just said, you know what, we're so rich, we can do whatever we want, and now they're finding out they just can't?
Yeah, I know. I honestly think they don't give a fuck. They're gonna say you
this is why Google, I think, has got an advantage because they're not the best-selling Android device, so they can experiment, and if they don't or they do, it's not going to affect that much.
Well, that's also part of it too, where like technically, you could have, I mean, they could try new things, but I don't think they care. Yeah. I mean, Apple, I'll give you an example. They are not going to revert back to the previous Photos app. I promise you they won't. They're going to wait for you to get used to it. And then they might add some extra features, maybe in a software update. But at the end of the day, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I don't think that Apple's cares about what you think about the photo app. They're just going to go for it.
Maybe they should, because I sent you an article earlier that Apple and Samsung aren't the world's top two smartphone vendors anymore.
I'll pull it up. Hang on. Yeah. Xiaomi has taken the crown, man, for the first time.
Yeah.
For this month anyway, yes. But I didn't expect Apple to this month, if I'm being honest. But Xiaomi has basically flooded the market this month with a whole bunch of devices at different price points.
Here in the US, if you're a general consumer, you don't know who Xiaomi is, but they make some fantastic phones with some fantastic cameras.
Yes.
And the reason why they're selling so well is because the population of China in that area of the world is dense, and they sell a lot of phones in a lot of markets at different price points.
Yes.
And they are doing great. And that's why Apple should be worried, and they should be focusing more on perfection like they used to. Because these kind of companies will eventually get to the point, well, fingers crossed, they will come over here and introduce better, more
Absolutely.
innovation. You know,
Yeah.
Xiaomi, Honor, Vivo, Oppo, God, they need to come over here. We need more competition, not just for Apple, but also for Samsung.
I mean, the problem with these Chinese companies, and they do make amazing devices. We talk about them all the time on this podcast. The problem is, it's a bit like OnePlus. No one knows who they are. And in order for them to really
true.
break the American market, they have to spend
A lot of
trillions
money.
of dollars. Yeah. And I mean, even then, it's
No,
still...
hold on. Huawei
Yeah.
was close.
Yo, 100%.
They were
Yeah.
on the verge of sweeping Samsung off their feet. Apple,
Yep.
they were making camera tech that, God, was amazing.
Yes.
And then we had to shut them down here in the U.S. And every other country that was our ally had to do the same thing, which kind of screwed them.
Yeah.
They're bouncing back pretty quick, too. But we don't have to talk about that.
Well, the funny thing is, and I think this was only maybe 5 years ago, Huawei they were right on Apple's tail when it comes to sales.
They were
And
close
I
to
think-
overtaking them. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the
I
U.S.
think
as well.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Like people were buying their devices. They made amazing devices, great cameras,
Well, they
great
had carrier
batteries.
deals. I remember my
Yeah.
dad had it with like Verizon. He had like the Mate, one of the Mate series, and
Yeah.
it was crazy.
And you know what's funny? So I think it's the Mate 10
Yep.
was one of the number one camera phones back when that phone first came out because it had such amazing picture quality. And I think it had a dedicated black and white portrait camera. If I got that right, or a mode that people
I
were
can't
just
remember because there's a
raving
couple
about.
phones during that generation that did the same
Yeah.
thing. Like there's the Essential phone.
Yes, which you have close at
So
hand.
just to keep you guys in mind, I have the Essential phone 2. Never came out. You
Yeah.
remember that, right? Well,
I do, yeah.
What the? Oh,
Oh,
the
yeah,
360 camera.
Yes.
Still sealed,
Wow.
not opened, and the Essential phone sealed, not opened. And just to let you know, and I'll make a video on my channel at some point.
Yeah.
I actually found now that the Essential phone had pogo pins
Yes.
for
Yeah.
the 360 camera.
I remember,
They-
yeah.
They were supposed to make a charger, it never came. They
Yeah.
had a hi-fi audio
speaker.
headphone jack,
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
and they were impossible to find.
Yes.
I mean, I've been looking and looking since I got these things.
Yeah.
I actually got one.
Oh, there
on
you
its
go.
way.
Nice.
Here's the problem.
Amazing.
I
Yes.
don't know if it works. but
Okay.
It's not in the original box.
Okay, that's not bad, but it's still part of the accessory
Essential
package. Right?
was one of the first companies that like really changed like
Yes.
the concept of what an Android phone could be. But I don't want to get up too in deep.
Just on that, I remember going into a carrier store here in Canada because they were selling it through carriers
Yes.
here in Canada.
Sprint.
And I remember, yes. And I remember literally walking in, seeing it on display, because remember, it was almost completely like just a square
It had a thick
bezel-less
bezel on the
phone.
bottom, but it had
In
that
the bottom.
notch. The first
Yeah.
notch phone ever. Yep.
I saw it and went, oh my goodness.
Yes.
That is a beautiful looking
Andy
phone.
Rubin went on TechCrunch or some like
Yeah.
and he had it in his pocket or his front pocket, and you could see it was like almost bezel-less.
Yeah.
And it was like
Oh,
I
it's
remember
something
taking
else.
360 videos. I don't even know why, and I still
Yeah.
have them there in Google Photos. Like,
Yeah.
my kids were like really small, and I'm like walking around the house, and you can
Yeah.
still, and it wasn't a bad
Nuts.
quality.
No.
And the cameras were terrible when it came out, but that was one of the first.
They got
companies
better, though.
That we will fix it with software.
Yeah.
And they started that whole trend, I think.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Andy Rubin made some missteps personally.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
the Gem phone, which I had, was the prototype of the Essential 2.
Yeah.
You can't do shit with that prototype. It's running like a debloated Google OS.
Yeah.
So you can't just install like GMS and you can't
Yeah.
install anything on it.
Anything.
I tried and I effed it all up, and I had to go to recovery mode. And on
Oh,
a phone that
yeah.
there's no support for, that's difficult. But I'll do a video on my channel, just like a history of Essential. And maybe some
Absolutely,
other
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
So
love
check
different
out 2NA. His channel's up there.
Hey,
it's all there.
It was one of the first phones that Amazon did. They did an exclusive colorway.
That's
just for
correct.
Amazon.
It was green, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like
it was
emerald?
halo green and
Yeah.
black, titanium,
Yeah.
ceramic. I mean, it was.
And it was a titanium build. That's right. I remember
yeah,
that.
titanium
yeah.
and ceramic. I mean, it
Wow.
was. What's funny is when I bought it, I was one of the first guys. I pre-ordered it. It was like
Yeah.
$7.99, $6.99.
Yeah.
And then it didn't sell very well.
Yes.
And then they offered everybody who pre-ordered or who ordered it, you can get a second one for 50% off.
Wow.
So I bought
Yeah.
the white. I had a black and I bought a white
Yeah.
version for like $300, and I had two for. That's when I started having multiple phones for no reason.
You know, it's funny. The only other time I had that reaction to a phone was two phones. The Note 10 from Samsung.
Yes.
I remember seeing that in a carrier store, and I had been using like the iPhone 6 Plus, a 7, like just no
Yeah, you were Apple
bezel
sheep.
monster.
Yep.
Yeah. Seeing that phone, I remember looking at that phone going, holy fuck, like what have I missed?
But as an Apple person, when you saw it, you're like, but it's Samsung. I can't do it.
No, I saw it and went, I gotta get that
Okay.
phone. And I went out and bought that phone. I absolutely,
Were
I had
you
that.
in the tech community like you are now then?
No, I think that might have been what started it, if I'm being honest.
okay.
I think that might have been what really, I mean, I always loved phones and I tried all different
The
phones. That was always
T-Mobile
the thing.
G1, the first real Android
Yes.
device, is what got me into it because that was around the same time that Apple came out, and
Yes.
everyone jumped on Apple, and I'm like, God, I don't want to be like
Yep.
everyone else. So that's how I got.
And
me
the
started.
other one was the Nextbit Robin.
Dude, that phone
because-
was amazing.
Yes, and it cost $199 here in Canada. I don't know how much it will cost you guys there, but it was $199 here in Canada. I remember I
about the
bought
same price.
myself, yeah, and a buddy at work one. And we were in love with that phone. It was
So
spectacular.
I have a locker in my master bedroom, like an
Yes.
actual school locker that I keep some of my work equipment in that's
Yes.
locked up. And I put stickers all over it. And I actually have Nextbit Robin stickers on that damn thing.
Wow.
And when
Yeah.
Razer bought them, I bought the
Yep.
Razer Phone 1. And
So
the
did
Razer
I.
2 because it
Yep.
was squared.
Yep.
Nextbit was way ahead of its time, and the
Yeah.
cloud storage with the apps was kind of weird. But man,
I
that
didn't.
phone was different.
It was, and the
so
cameras
different.
weren't bad. Like for $199, like it was. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I don't make 'em like that.
U.S. and I should say U.S. North America and most consumers didn't want different. They wanted
Yeah. I
Apple.
wanted an iPhone.
They wanted something that was the same every year. Yeah.
So look, I'll put it to you this way to close out the show. Let's think of it this way: if you are an Apple user, just take a moment to look around at your local Best Buy. Have a look at what else is out there, so you don't necessarily buy the same thing. And right now, Android does have RCS, which means for the layperson that your quality of photos and videos will be at the same quality you send your iPhone friends. That's what just happened in the world of
If that's the
smartphones.
only thing keeping you there, and the
Yeah.
16 Pro Max is a fantastic phone, but
It
there's
is.
other phones out there. Take a look, pick them up, play with them.
Yes. And listen, on that note, this is the Tech Disruptors podcast. Thank you very much to everybody tuning in. We are back every week. And if you're following us, well, you should be following us and subscribing on YouTube. If you're not, what's wrong with you? And also Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Good Pods. You can find us anywhere you find amazing tech podcasts. And give us a shout out. Reach out. Say hi. We would love to hear from you. So I'm Darren. This guy's
Jason.